What if the people who seem honest are just better liars? What if manipulation isn't a glitch in human nature, but a feature of how power works? Machiavelli didn't believe in fairy tales. He believed in survival. Many people get hurt not because they are weak, but because they don't understand how power operates. They assume others play fair, that truth always wins, that honesty is enough. But Niccolò Machiavelli, the Renaissance political philosopher, saw through these illusions. He believed, a man who wishes to act entirely up to his professions of virtue soon meets with what destroys him among so much that is evil. In other words, in a world full of wolves, the lamb who insists on being innocent will be eaten. This video isn't about becoming manipulative. It's about understanding manipulation so you don't become its victim. Let's uncover Machiavelli's ruthless wisdom. Machiavelli wrote, "Men are so simple and so obedient to present necessities that he who deceives will always find those willing to be deceived." This is not just about the manipulator. It's about the human tendency to participate in their own deception. We like to think we value truth, but in reality, many seek comfort, not clarity. They follow confidence, not honesty. They prefer the mask that smiles to the mirror that reflects. This is why manipulators don't always need to hide. They just need to tell us what we want to hear. The truth, by contrast, is often inconvenient. It forces you to change, to face flaws, to act. A lie, however, lets you stay where you are, safe, flattered, and passive. And so, people become addicted to the flattering lie and hostile toward the honest voice. This is where manipulation thrives, not in darkness, but in willful blindness. Machiavelli understood this long before psychology did. A skilled manipulator doesn't overpower your logic. They bypass it by appealing to your emotions, fears, and desires. They promise safety. They offer certainty. They use charm instead of truth. Because charm is harder to argue with. So to outsmart manipulation, the first step is internal. Train yourself to desire the truth, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it makes you question what you thought was you. Because if you don't question the lie, you'll help spread it. One of Machiavelli's most infamous lessons is this: everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. The Prince, chapter 18. This is how manipulators operate. They don't need to control the truth, just the narrative. They smile when they lie. They cry on command. They build reputations as good people and use it as a shield. In today's world, reputation is currency. Many hide behind personas curated for public approval. Instagram, office smiles, performative empathy. To outsmart a manipulator, don't listen only to words. Watch patterns. Watch contradictions. Watch how people act when no one is watching. Remember, the truth isn't always loud, but lies usually are. Machiavelli didn't romanticize power. He understood that sometimes playing by the rules leads to destruction. It is necessary to be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves. In other words, be sharp enough to see through deceit and strong enough not to be prey. Manipulators often weaponize your kindness. They test boundaries. They push limits quietly, then blame you when you react. But if you learn to respond, not react, to stay composed while seeing clearly, you take away their advantage. Being strategic doesn't mean being fake. It means knowing when to speak, when to wait, and when to walk away. Machiavelli's greatest insight wasn't about politics. It was about human nature. He believed that people are not always good by default. They are capable of loyalty and betrayal, love and cruelty, depending on pressure, power, and self-interest. To survive manipulation, you must accept that not everyone has your values. Some people will smile while using you. Some will project guilt to make you doubt yourself. Others will manipulate through silence, playing the victim. This doesn't mean you should become paranoid. It means you should become awake. Like Machiavelli said, it is double pleasure to deceive the deceiver, but even more powerful is not to enter the game at all. Machiavelli has been misunderstood for centuries. He wasn't teaching us to be evil. He was warning us that goodness without wisdom becomes easy to destroy. Outsmarting manipulators doesn't require becoming like them. It requires clarity. Don't confuse kindness with compliance. Don't confuse silence with weakness. And don't confuse performance with character. In a world of clever masks, your greatest strength might just be the ability to see through them.